Hi guys and welcome to the Aging Games. Today I'll be talking about alternate day fasting. You probably already heard about different types of fasting. There's water fasting, dry fasting, intermittent fasting. There's OMAD, which is only one meal a day. There's the 5-2, where you're eating for 5 days and then fasting for 2 days. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about alternate day fasting because this is something that I've committed myself to doing for a month until my 51st birthday to see what kind of results I can get. I've been doing a water fast, dry fast for the past week. And the only thing that I've had to eat in the past week is 2 eggs because I was ready to break the fast on Friday night. And then I decided to break it with an egg. And then I felt fine the next day. So I said, okay, I'll just continue for another 24 hours. Then I had one more egg and then I did another 24 hours. So here I am a week later. This fast was way overdue for me because I think I just really overdid with the keto treats, having keto cakes, making these kinds of stuff. It's always a big trap. And the more you eat these things, the more you want them. So I was making the cakes and the fat bombs and all that stuff. And it's really not something that you should be having all the time. I also had some protein bread lately. And also I realized that I simply, even though my family is eating whatever they want around me, I simply am not one of those people that can just have a little bite of bread or a little bit of mashed potatoes or a little bit of rice because it just adds up and the weight just creeps back up on me so quickly. And I was so disheartened when I finally stepped on the scale. I haven't weighed myself for months. So the first time I weighed myself was after 6 days of fasting. So I was really hoping to see some good numbers there. And actually I was at the highest that I've ever been since I lost the weight almost 3 years ago. So I was really sad to see that because to see that after almost 1 week of fasting was like, oh my God. So guys, I can totally relate to everyone out there who struggles with their weight. And it's so unfair that I have to be so super strict with what I'm doing. And you see other people that are skinny and they stay skinny their whole lives. They can eat whatever they want, drink whatever they want. And unfortunately, my body doesn't work like that. It never quite has. I mean, I've been dieting my whole life. So it was a lesson learned. And even though I don't like the scale and it's not a good measure of what your progress is. I mean, I do measure centimeters and I have noticed that, I've gotten bigger and you feel it on yourself. You just don't feel as comfortable and something's going on and something needs to give. When I get to this point, the fastest way for me to lose that weight is to do a fast. So here I am 7 days in and I still need to get back to the weight where I want to be. So I've got another 3-4 kilos to go. And I thought my birthday would be a really good goal to achieve this. So I was looking at how to do this, what would be the best way. And then I've been reading a lot about alternate day fasting, or also called ADF. And I thought, well, this would be a good thing to try. So let me tell you a little bit about how ADF works. It's really a very simple diet because you're eating one day and you're fasting the next day. And people have been doing this for months. Some have been doing this for years. Now there's 2 different ways to do ADF. One is you have up days and you have down days. The up days is when you're eating, and most plans will allow you to eat anything you want during this day. And on the up day, you should not be limiting your calories at all, and you should not be limiting the window within which you're eating. So you shouldn't be doing OMAD or intermittent fasting. You need to have a good 8-hour window within which you are actually eating, and you can have as much food and as much calories as you like. I am not going to go crazy with this. I'm definitely not going to have whatever I want. I will try to have 2, maybe 3 smaller meals during my up days. I'm going to really stick to keto carnivore. And then on the down days, you have 2 options. So you can do it with strictly fasting and only having water, or the other option is that you can actually eat 500 calories. Now, what they recommend is that you eat these 500 calories in one go. For example, so you'll be sleeping and then you have an up day, you eat, and then you sleep again, and the next day you're doing the 500 calories. the later you do those 500 calories, so the longer you stretch out that time, the longer your fast will be. And then when you have those 500 calories, you should have them at one time. So try not to space them out. Don't have breakfast, lunch, dinner, because I mean, it would be really hard to do that because 500 calories is really not a lot. And you may want to, stretch it out into the afternoon so you don't get really hungry in the evening, which is the worst time to get through. So it's pretty simple to do. There's a method that they call 4-3, where you're actually eating for 4 days out of the week and you're fasting for 3 days. Or the other way you can do it is just alternate days, fast and then feast, fast, feast, fast, feast. I want to emphasize how important it is to actually feast on those feast days, because otherwise they're saying the diet's not going to work. Now, there have been different studies, and some have shown that actually those people that are having their 500 calories on their down days were losing more weight than the people that were just fasting on water. So I mean, this is really something that you need to try for yourself if this is something that you're interested in. What I'm gonna do, my plan is, if I feel fine on my down day and I'm just kind of breezing through it, then I'm just gonna do the water. If I feel like I'm really getting hungry and I wanna eat something, and especially because you're doing this in the long term, then I will do the 500 calorie meal, which will also be, if I'm doing a high fat meal, it's gonna be literally a few bites. It'll be like a high fat keto meal, similar to what I would have on normal days, but just in a much smaller quantity. Like you can have like an omelet, for example, with a little bit of bacon. You can have some chicken, for example. Chicken is pretty low in calories, so you can have a larger meal, maybe with some cabbage or some vegetables or a salad. You really have to pay attention because, okay, I'm not a fan of counting calories, but this is how this plan works. So I'm going to try to follow it as much as possible. And then on my up days, I'm going to, like I said, just go back to how I normally eat, but I will be having at least 2 meals every day. So I'm really curious to see how this will work for me. It sounds very simple. I have a friend who's going to be doing it with me, so we'll be able to support each other. I don't know if this is something that I want to do in the long term. It's a little bit difficult, and you also have to time social things and outings and things like that around your schedule. I think you have to keep some flexibility. For example, if you have something planned, then it's your down day and you shouldn't be eating, well, then you can always switch it around and have 2 up days in a row and then do another down day after. I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think you need to be super strict and super dogmatic about the whole thing, because then it's just going to cause stress. So you need to leave some flexibility. But I've seen a lot of people that this has worked so well for, and especially for people that have been doing OMAD for a long time, for example, and they're just not getting the results they want. They've reached a plateau and they're not losing any more weight. What happens is your body really gets used to anything that you do on a long-term basis. So if you're doing the same kind of diet, if you're doing OMAD, you're doing intermittent fasting or anything like that, it's really important to kind of mix things up and change things around. And I also wanted to mention, for women that are still menstruating, Dr. Mindy really recommends, she's an expert on fasting and I've been following her for a while, super interesting information. And she really recommends that 1 week before your menstruation, not to fast. She said it's not a good time to fast. This is when you should be feeding your body. And so keep this in mind. If you're still menstruating, maybe during that week before your period, you just want to be eating normal, or just doing 3 weeks of alternate day fasting. I mean, like with anything, you have to kind of tweak these things, try it, see how it works for you, see if you're getting results, see if you're losing weight. It really depends also how much weight you have to lose. The more weight you have to lose, the faster you will see results. And of course, if you're closer to your ideal weight, like I am, it's a bit of a slower process. So that's why I'm giving myself a month for those 3-4 kilos. So, if I can lose 1 kilo a week, I will be very happy. And then it's going to be about, getting back on track and staying away from the trigger things, because those things really do affect my weight, even if we're talking about tiny bites here and there. My body starts retaining too much inflammation, too much water, and I just don't feel well. So the great thing about fasting, and I'm sure it will be the same with alternate day fasting, is that I feel great, I feel light, I feel energetic, And it's so nice to wake up to a nice flat stomach. I really enjoy that feeling. And you know what happens once you eat, and especially when you're eating foods you shouldn't be eating it, your stomach just blows up instantly, which is not a good feeling. So guys, it's a very simple thing. I really don't have too much more to say about this. But if you guys have tried it, or if you're interested in trying it, then please leave a comment for me below and let me know what you think. And please also check out my latest book below, the AgingGames anti-aging book, with over 100 different anti-aging tips and hacks that every woman needs to read. And if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me, please don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit the little bell so you get notifications every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching, guys.